call the November meeting to order, 7 o'clock. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Chairman Hedwell.
Present.
Legislator Wilson.
Present.
Legislator Duchessis. Legislator Pack.
Present.
Legislator Isabel.
Present.
Legislator Patel.
Here.
Legislator Kelly.
Present.
Legislator Sweet.
Present.
Legislator Dyman.
Present.
We're going to stand and salute the flag, and then after that, we're going to have a moment of silence. And I would appreciate if everybody would take a moment to have the thoughts of Jeremy being all strained in their thoughts and his family and their thoughts. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, first thing is, now we have a public comment period. If anybody would like, from the public, would like to speak, please come to the rail, state your name for the record, and the floor is yours. Seeing no one's from the public that wants to speak, we will get into our proclamations. And tonight we have 3 proclamations, and they all will revolve around the sheriff's department and the jail. So, who's going first tonight?
Joe.
Joe? You go first?
Okay, I thought we were.
You have the accreditations.
I thought Dan was going to do
The county? Okay. Or is, Mike, how do you want to go first?
Well, Joe and I spoke about doing the jail.
Okay.
Now we're going to do the jail.
Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah. If jail personnel will come forward. Sir? Go ahead.
Whereas the County of Montgomery is proud to recognize individuals who take pride in their careers and they are committed to giving back to the people who represent. And whereas the staff of Montgomery County Jail is dedicated, driven, and able to communicate, de-escalate situations while maintaining a professional focus task at hand. Whereas these employees work within the facility, which could be described as a city within itself, as responsible for monitoring anywhere between 110 and 179 inmates, 365 days a year. Should go in the hotel business. Whereas approximately 77 employees work in Montgomery County Jail, and said that the correctional supervisors, medical kitchen staff, as well as corrections training coordinator. And whereas these employees oversee inmates with their day-to-day activities such as schooling, medical, meals, counseling opportunities, trips to court dates, and other appointments and visitations. And whereas 9 employees in particular should be commended for their teamwork, years of service, and commitment to the Montgomery County Jail. And Administrator Robert Barbuti, Corrections Supervisor Sergeant Devin Sweet, Corrections Supervisor Corporal Michael Payne, Correction Officer Terry Carter, Correction Officer Teresa Saltzman. Hope I'm saying these names right.
Yep.
Good. Okay. Corrections Officer Peter Bertucci, Correction Training Coordinator Maria Wemple, Gina Yessi of the medical staff, and Stephanie Cruel of the jail's kitchen staff. And whereas the fact that these employees maintain a positive attitude in an atmosphere that is filled with strife and conflict truly demonstrates their discipline and excellent character. Now therefore, be it resolved, County Executive Matt Osenfort, Legislative Chairman Robert Hedwell, and myself, Legislator Dan Wilson, on behalf of Montgomery County Legislature, hereby proclaim November 27, 2018 as the date in Montgomery to recognize, sincerely appreciate, wholeheartedly thank those who serve the Montgomery County Jail. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, Morgan, how you want to do
Could
this?
you guys just get closer for a photo, please?
Next time.
Someone up front?
Who you want to face that?
Okay, let me, 1, 2.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did I mispronounce any names?
No, you got it. You got it.
Mike, Bob Thomas next. Bob Thomas next.
Yeah.
Okay. Bob? You have any deputies in the room?
Bert, you coming up?
Come on. Well,
Heather? All of a sudden, they're shy. I guess we're ready.
I guess we're ready to go. Proclamation number 2. It's all the sheriff's department tonight. That's pretty good. Okay, whereas Montgomery County Sheriff's Office Road Patrol Law Enforcement Division is known for their dedication, hard work they put into the betterment of the community and to the residents of the community. Whereas the office most recent accomplishment will be achieving accreditation through the New York State Law Enforcement Agency accreditation program, which is administered through the Division of Criminal Justice. Whereas out of 62 sheriffs, our office whereas out of 62 sheriffs throughout the state, only 24 have received this accreditation, making Montgomery County not only 29, but the second smallest sheriff's office in the state to receive this distinction and honor. That's quite an accomplishment. Whereas Under Sheriff Robert A. Thomas III serves as the accreditation manager and began the application process in late 2016. So it took you about 2 years to go through accreditation. And with policies already put in place by Sheriff Michael Amato and the help of Lieutenant Bert Wilson, okay, Senior Investigator Joseph Kilmartin, okay, on that name, I'm sorry, and Sergeant Michael Lewis, policies were tightened to state standards and implemented, and whereas accreditation provides standardization, less opportunity for litigation, better hiring, training, promotion, practice, and provides a savings on the county liability insurance. And that's always an important thing, you guys remember that. Okay, now therefore be it resolved, County Executive Matthew L. Osenfort, Legislative Chair Robert Hedwell, Legislator Joe Isabel, that's me, on behalf of the Montgomery County Legislature and all the people of Montgomery County that you guys serve every day, 365 days a year. We just appreciate the work you're doing, and thank you very much to all of you. This is an honor for the county, this is an honor for the county administrator, honor for the sheriff, honor for the department, and we really appreciate this. Thank you.
want to thank everybody. Before I forget to tell you that. I guess it's Get me nervous standing there. I want to backtrack just a little bit, if you don't mind. I want to thank the correction staff for being here tonight, if you giving the correction staff the citations. But we are a big family, and there's another, whole group back at the jail that also deserve.
Yeah, who's working now? Everybody's here.
They also deserve what we have, which you presented to my staff tonight. We are a big family. And sometimes you think that you're not important, that you don't matter. But if you ever watch the movie, It's a Wonderful Life, you always wonder what you would be if you weren't there. And some of the staff might think they're not important, but they are very important to me, and they are very important to the county. And the things that they do are not, not recognized by me. I do see it. I do tell them when I see it. And they know that they're important. Now, as far as accreditation, I want to thank the chair publicly. He knew when he came in that this was something that I wanted for years and we worked on, but it's a very difficult task to accomplish. Bob is a very meticulous person. He's a very hard worker. A lot of times I told him to go home because he was working on this. But he stuck it out. He did a great job, and I appreciate everything that you did. And I think the county does too. He's only been with us a couple of years, but he's made a big dent in getting things done. So I really appreciate it. And my other two staff members, Bert Wilson has been around. I hired him back in the 90s. He worked his way up from corrections to lieutenant. And I've said it before, he's my right-hand man. Whenever I need anything done, a lieutenant can get it done. Heather, she's our new SRO officer at Fonda Fultonville. She's doing a great job up there. They love it. And she also was our DARE officer. So she brings a lot to the sheriff's office in relationships with the county and the public and the schools, which is very important. And I want to thank her publicly.
And we want to thank you all very much for what you do for the county every day. Thank you.
Okay, Morgan would like all of you guys to get closer together.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for all. I didn't know they had such nice QW. Can I have his wife come up?
Carol?
I'll get shot. So.
Carol, could you come up here, please?
Come on. That's my fault. I didn't know she was retiring yet, so I thought we'd do a separate one for her at that time. Anybody else, Sheriff, or just, that's it? I gotta put some glasses on. I can't read this. I just kind of went off the beaten track for you because I guess I've known you for so many years. And you've been such a good person, and I used to listen to the talk shows when you were on the talk shows with Sam Zerlo and with Bob Cudmore. And I'll tell you that the people respected the sheriff very, very much back then. And I'm telling you that you did an excellent job. You were the first one that really kind of opened up to the people. You let the people have their say on the radio. That was something new back then. Now today you got all the other electronic media and all that stuff there, but back then you sat in that chair and you took your beating if it was good, and if it was good, and they give you compliments. But most of the time they gave you compliments, and that was something that was. Then you wander over and see Bob Cudmore across the river and go on the other station, which was fine with all of us. It was not a problem. So I'm very proud to be able to give you a proclamation, and to you from the county executive, the board chairman, the people of Montgomery County, and myself as public safety chair. It's been great working with you for the term, the time I've been up here. Sheriff, you came to the area with your family from New York. You attended, found the Fultonville Central School. Oh boy. Okay, and is this true, the FBI Institute?
FBI Academy,
Well, you look like you were in the FBI too a little bit. And the National Institute of Correction, that was because you started out in the jail, correct?
That's right.
Okay. Sheriff Amato served the county as a part-time road patrolman and correction officer, becoming an investigator in 1992. And we won't talk about the years, we just kind of go by all that stuff. And your wife was always there, like on your side, so that was great. And when Sheriff Rusham retired in 92?
1997.
97, okay, that's when he appointed, or you were appointed by Governor Pataki to be sheriff at that time, right?
Governor appointed me, yes.
And then you filled out, see, I found out a few things I knew, but, and then you filled out the rest of that term and you were there for 5 years. The first 5-year term as sheriff, okay? A brand new sheriff with a brand new jail, how did that feel, right? Great?
Yeah.
Now, did you get into the jail at the beginning? Was that the first, when you were there, or did Rush run it for a while, or how did it go?
Well, he was there when we constructed the facility.
Yeah.
And shortly after we moved the road patrol and dispatch in, he retired. The jail was never operating when he was sheriff. It was December 3rd of that year.
It was.
No, October of 97, I took over and
So that was your responsibility opening
moved
that place
moved
up?
the inmates.
From the old,
facility.
oh my God. You remember the old jail a little bit, or
A
what?
little bit.
Pieces of it fallen down over there by the Board of Elections. A brand new sheriff with a brand new jail for serving the county of Montgomery. You're gonna be remembered as a sheriff not afraid to embrace new technology. You've done a lot of technological things at the sheriff's office with the radios and all the stuff that you've done there. You kind of moved us into a new century, which is nice. Let's see, I got more stuff here, so don't go away yet. And you opened his office to the media, like I told you, with Sam Zerlo and with your buddy.
Thought it would poke.
Huh? Yeah, you started with Bill Polk, didn't you? Oh my God, Curly Bill used to go, never had a hair in his head. Okay. He did. He had not one hair in his head, the guy. And we used to always call him Curly Bill on the radio for. And a lot of you guys were way too young to know that. It was a long time before that, so I'm dating myself here. But I want, Bob Cudmore cut a really cute little audio piece for you. Yeah, it's very nice, and I wish everybody would listen to it. Charles, you gonna play it now?
This is Bob Cudmore. Let me join the chorus of voices wishing Sheriff Mike Amato well on his retirement. I remember Sheriff Amato at my own retirement lunch in 2014 when I stopped doing the morning show on WVTL in Amsterdam. My daughter said to me, "You know, Dad, the man over there has a gun." I said, "Don't worry, he's the sheriff." Sheriff Amato, years ago, used to listen to me when he was on the road patrol in some remote areas of Montgomery County. Had to be back in the 1980s or something. I was on WGY then, late at night, and I thanked him when we started talking a few years ago. I thanked him for listening to me back then. He said, "Bob, it's the only radio station we could get in the show at WVTL in 2004. I asked Sheriff Amato if he could do a weekly phone call with me, a report from the sheriff's office. We did that for the next 10 years, every Tuesday morning, almost every Tuesday morning, 8:35. It was a lot of good and sometimes vital information through the floods of those years and the ups and downs of crime, some of it just terrible to hear about. And yes, I asked him about the lawsuits brought against him in the sheriff's office from time to time. We had conflicting views on a number of things, such as immigration. I still remember him saying to me, "Now, Bob, what is it about illegal that you don't understand?" And I just heard the phrase, sheriff's office. That's how Sheriff Amato wanted the public and the media to refer to the organization he headed. He was very interested in the history of the office of sheriff, which goes back hundreds of years. He said the sheriff's office was its own entity, with its own publicly elected leader, the sheriff. It was not simply another department from county government. So Sheriff Mike Amato, thank you for your service. Best to you and your family in the future.
And I almost forgot your wife. She'll be retiring at some point in the near future. And she was always there to answer the phone calls and always there to buffer you, which was great. And thank you for your years of service too. He couldn't have done what he did without you being there. Thank you very, very much.
I just wanted to say just a couple of quick words. Like Bob said, the sheriff office is its own entity. It does have its own elected leader, but since I've been here, you've treated me with nothing but respect. You've always told it to me straight, and I appreciate that very much, even though it might have annoyed me at the time. I appreciate that, and I hope that as you go on, when you look back, you know that I've treated you with the respect that I feel you deserve as well. And it's been a great relationship, and one that I will certainly never forget. But congrats on your retirement, Sheriff.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah,
Thank you, everybody.
You gotta have something to say. I won't let you out without saying
Don't
something.
do that.
I'll hide behind you, you're big.
She didn't know it was coming tonight. Again, thank you.
Well, she kinda knew what was coming, cause I told her I really try to get it done, so. She didn't think you would come, that's what.
But Joe was just taking no for an answer.
Yeah, Joe gave me a very hard time, by the way, everybody. I did not want anything. I did my job, that's all. I was proud that the public seen that they had trusted me and they kept electing me back to office. That's what counts to me the most, that the public trusted me. It's been a long time, 39 years. I can't believe it's been. I never anticipated being here that long. It's been some rough times, been some really good times. This last year has been pretty rough. God said.
We gotta look at the other 38 years.
But I've seen this place come from mechanical typewriters with carbon paper when I started to what we have now, computers and control cars. And it's amazing. The one thing that I always wanted to see before I left was I wanted to see satellite pictures in my dispatch so that my dispatchers knew what was going on out in the street when they got the call. And that'll happen someday. It's there now, but it's just that we don't have that ability to have that technology. But we have other means, which we use cell phones for video to send back and stuff. But it's been quite a ride. And to be honest with you, I'm glad it's over. The people have always been very good to me. When we had the board, I spent many nights in this room, especially when I started. I used to attend every meeting, every committee meeting, because we had issues back then with our legislators. But this group has been pretty good. But it has changed, and I had a good relationship with the board of supervisors when we had them, and the county administrator. I always had a good relationship. And when they decided they wanted to go to the legislator, a lot of people were against it, and the legislative board. But I thought that was a good idea. And in fact, you know, as Matt said, I am a separate entity. I'm a separate elected official, and I've always wanted the sheriff's office to be known as that, as the office of the sheriff, not a department of the county. But I do get along with Matt, and I will tell him how it is. I think he respects me, and I respect him. And you know, we'll say what we have to say, and that's the way it is with everybody here, and we move on. It's not, there's no animosity or hate there, and that's a good relationship. And I think that the board, the legislative board, is working out well. And a lot, like Roy Diamond here, went to school with Roy.
Yeah.
You know, it's nice to see his face on the legislature, because it's somebody I know from a long time ago, and I know today, and I know what I tell him, what he's telling me, it's truth, it's straight, it's not no games. So once again, thank you, and Joe, I did not want to do this today. Thank you very much. I appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Happy we did.
Thank you.
Good. have to answer, I forgot. I want to thank my wife. My wife was the sheriff's secretary before I was the sheriff. She was the secretary to Sheriff Ron Emery. And then when I became the sheriff, I decided to keep her. And as Joe had said earlier, she was very important to me. You know, we were married to begin with, so we share a lot of things. But when you work together, we're a team. And, you know, it really helped the sheriff's office run better. She runs the sheriff's office. She does everything. I'm just a figurehead that, you know, people don't like because when you're in trouble, you have to come see me or whatever. But Carol has run the sheriff's office. And you can ask anybody that works there. And, they'll tell you.
Anybody that calls there.
And just about anybody who works for the county that knows Carol knows that Carol runs the sheriff's office. And the staff have a lot of respect for her. They know she knows her job inside out. So she's made my job very easy. I want to publicly thank you.
So Mike, what you're saying is she's always right at home and she's always right at work. Hey, Carol, we have to come for a picture tonight?
Good.
And I gotta say one more thing, everybody. In the 39 years he's been over there, 'cause I really pushed to have him this night and everything. I've never called him to fix a ticket.
Thanks, Mike. Again, I'd like to thank all of you for coming out tonight. We do appreciate the work that you do for us. Thank you.
Thank you.
No tickets?
Lawyer.
No, I get the lawyer after 6 months. Yes, of course.
So I took the course last year.
Thank you. Yeah.
Works out here.
Oh, it's snowing, come on, let's get going.
Okay, Madam Clerk, do we have any communications?
Just want to remind everyone, next Tuesday, December 4th, we're scheduled to go on the C-130. We have to be at the Schenectady Airport at 10:30 in the morning.
To be confirmed tomorrow. December 4th.
December 4th, next
Send a
Tuesday. I'll send a reminder.
If I get 6. We don't have them. Next thing on Anita, motion with the acceptance of the budgetary transfers from October 18th, 2018 to November 20th, 2018, and the aggregate budget transfers from November 2018. A motion?
So
Motion by legislator Diamond, second by legislator Pep. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Need a motion for the procurement record for October 2018. Legislator Wilson, second. Legislator Sweet, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Old business, we have a resolution, Resolution 239, resolution denying application for credit of the 2018 county and tax roll. Sponsors were Sweet and Diamond. Discussion. Motion to move from the table. Legislator Diamond. Miranda, second by Legislator Isabel. Discussion. Legislator Diamond.
This is just information to.
Oh, yeah. I'm all set.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Okay, now,
No, it's removing it.
Are you voting?
no, it's on
I'm in
the,
favor.
it's on the table.
Okay, yes.
Okay, Legislator Diamond.
I'm just having a real hard time. I mean, I know everyone has, I guess first let me start by saying our role as legislators and executive is to promote economic development in the county. So here we have a business that invested a lot of money in the county. They weren't taxed correctly in 2018. The following year, there was admission to the error. There's a 20% difference, which I had seen a figure where the difference was $229, and I'm sure the business owner would not be here for $229. The following year, the tax rate was compensated for the mistake that was made. And now next year, there's still a problem with the taxes. The land taxation is incorrect. So for us to agree that we should vote for this, for 3 items that are wrong, I have a hard time with it. I understand, everyone has an opinion. They brought forth case studies. We've done everything but find out how to resolve it. No one has called the state and said, there's a mistake made, how do we do it? There's a mistake made, is my opinion right? Yes, yeah, your opinion's right, but it doesn't solve our issue. So with that said, this is a resolution I can't support, knowing that the tax rate is not right. 2018 is not right this year, and it's not going to be right next year. Thank you.
Vice Mayor Patel.
In support of Legislator Diamond's comments, you know, we're here to set, we're afraid of setting a precedent by voting no on this. But my feeling is our job here is to set precedents. Our job here is to take what's wrong and make it right by our opinions, okay? May this cost us more money in the future? It may, or may open the opportunity for more people to do this. But I don't want to, and penalize is not the right word, but this business, these people have invested a lot of money in our community, now and in the past. And it's not just the county tax that it affects, it affects the school tax and the town tax. And I'm gonna vote no on this because I support this gentleman putting money in our community and doing his own economic development.
Isabel.
I think we're not setting a precedent. We have an assessor that made a mistake, tried to correct the mistake, still having problems making mistakes. I feel that I'm gonna vote no on it because I think the taxpayer should get the benefit of the doubt and we should take care of this for him. Now, if the state says no, and they throw it back to wherever they gotta throw it, that's up to the state of New York. We have to honor what they say. But they did give us we do have the authority to vote on it. I think we should vote on voting no.
Can I call roll call?
No. I just want to point out that if there is an assumption, if there is an intention, should be, you can't simply vote no. You have to make an amendment to either accept the correction or deny. You can't just vote no, because if you vote down a denial, it's still sitting, needing action. You have to either correct it or not correct it. So I would recommend, if the intention is to want to correct the tax roll, to change the value, to make an amendment to accept the correction of error and stating the basis upon which that correction of error is being accepted. Because if you vote no, it sits on the table and it still needs action. Essentially, you can't just vote no. You have to take an action one way or the other.
I would just wonder, who are we to set the rate? All we're saying that the rate is incorrect. I mean, what we should come up with a number of what he should be taxed at? That's not our job.
Well, it would be, you would, like, as the resolution reads right now, it's denying the correction of error. So what you would do is make an amendment finding, so you have the fourth whereas, where it says does not find there was a clerical error, unlawful entry, or an error of essential fact. You'd have to amend that for which one you're finding that there is. Then you would resolve that you accept the application for credit to the 2018 tax roll.
Can we just remove that language rather than adjusting it?
But either way, just make an
Amend that.
amendment, you have to amend the resolution.
Amend the resolution, but what I'm saying is rather than add language that you just gave and or misconstruing what we're saying or forcing us to come up with some language that we may not be comfortable with. Can't we just strike that?
Well, under the law, you have to choose one. You have to find which one there is. Because under a correction of errors, you have 3 categories that it can fall into to be eligible for correction. So that's either clerical error, unlawful entry, or error of essential fact. So you have to choose one of those. You have to find that there is one of those, and then you have to accept the application for credit. So So my recommendation would be, since a lot of you seem to want to vote no, perhaps making a motion to amend would be a good.
Oh, go ahead. I'd like to make a motion to amend, but I'm not sure of the verbiage that I'd like to insert in there to amend.
It seems like that if you're gonna amend it, you would be amending it to an error in essential facts that is applicable. Yes.
I think we should vote no, and I think we should send it down to somebody that knows at the state that can give us an opinion on what we should do. And then when we get it back, then we take care of it. If the assessor has to take care of it and change it, then we have something to vote on later. Initially, I think we should get it started by voting no on it, send it down, and you send it down with a letter to the, where does it go?
Well, it doesn't, the state doesn't have jurisdiction on this, but I do know that Real Property has consulted with the Real Office of Real Property at the state level and gotten opinions and gotten all we can get from the state on this. This has to be a decision on the county level.
Quick question, is there a timing issue? Is there any reason why you could vote no today? Then with that decision, we could work with a legislator or two or three to come up with something for December's meeting, which is going to be right around the corner?
That's a good
Well,
solution.
your tax roll's coming out.
Is that the process, or is a timing issue here?
Technically, you're supposed to act on the application within a certain number of days. It's already been tabled once. If the legislature wants to take that route, it certainly could to work on.
I was just curious as to which, if there was a timing issue, because whatever's in there, we're gonna have to stick to, and, maybe it'll work a couple days.
I'm afraid that if we take that route, that the tax roll is going to be filed and the gentleman is going to have the liability of paying that.
No, this is for looking back. This is for the year 2018
So it makes no difference.
tax roll. This does not affect future taxes. This only would affect the 2018 taxes. This is correction of errors and correction of taxes in the past. It only is for an application of 2018.
So what we're saying is that
Full
the
sponsorship.
2019 tax rolls are going to indicate that it's 100% finished, 80% finished, or 60%.
That has nothing to do with the 2019.
But understanding where I'm going from this,
I don't know what the 2019 tax roll says, but it does not, this has no bearing on that, and the scope of your review is limited to this year, and to this tax roll, which is the 2018.
The other option that we have with this is that we could pull the sponsors, Sweet and Diamond could pull the sponsors, and then we could bring this back to committee, and it could be discussed in committee. If we don't do that, then it's going to be back at the full board meeting again and not at committee to go forward. So that's another option we have. So,
I just think we should take a vote on it and then get somebody from the state to come up here and talk to us about it before we go finally on it.
Well, you're-
But if you're doing that, then have the sponsor, pull the sponsorship, send it to committee and let someone come and talk to committee about it.
Sure.
Yes.
I'll pull my sponsor.
Let's say Sweet has pulled this one. So let's say Sweet has pulled the sponsor. Is that? Let's say Diamond.
I want to make an amendment, but I need someone to pick up the sponsorship.
I'll pick it up.
So, going back to what the council said, on the third whereas, and this has been my opinion all along, and it's the opinion of, what this refers to as the opinion of the legislature, that instead of does not find, the legislature finds that there was a clerical error based on a mathematical mistake, and the mathematical mistake, and I'm not sure if you want to put that in the amendment, was bad information from the zoning officer, which I'm not sure why he was involved in the process, giving bad information to the assessor, who through a computer program figured out what the rate was, and it was an error. So that's the amendment I would like to make. We're not sure if you
You're gonna
need.
change the result also.
Do basically the same thing
Yes.
Do we need to explain?
Well, I was just explaining the amendment, but I think you're correct. That's the simplest way to do it.
So,
Instead of saying does not find, we find that there was.
So you make a
Based on-
motion to amend it.
I'm making-
Second it.
And then the result would have to.
And the result is also going to be changed.
Hereby approves the application for credit for the 2018 tax roll.
And then what about?
Further
the
resolved that
result?
shall be marked denied.
All
Any
denied be
denied.
accepted.
And the further resolved, first further resolved,
Be marked approved.
accepted. Both further resolved.
Cheryl, do you have a copy of the last one that we accepted? That you can pull up easily, because there's specific language you have to put into it.
The current one that's on the table?
No,
We did one last month.
last month's.
I can pull it up if you don't have it easily there.
What would be the appropriate counselor? Response instead of denied in the first resolve.
What, sorry, we just,
You know, there's
no, I'm trying to pull up the resolution for, trying to make sure we're.
Under the first further resolve, it's marked denied. And if we want to change that to the opposite of denied, do we change it to accepted, or do we change it to approved?
You give me 1 second, I can get you all the way, there's specific language from the statute
Sure.
to have in there. There were two, there was one we accepted last time. It's resolution 240, Cheryl.
I'm thinking we might want to replace denied with approved.
I like that.
So this is.
Want me to print one for everyone?
All of this.
Okay, so I'll read the amendment. So on the fourth, whereas the Montgomery County Legislature find that there was a
Just a second,
clerical error based on a mathematical mistake, that that is applicable in the application for correction. And then if we go down to the
First.
The first result.
let's this one here.
Approved or confirmed.
On the resolve, it'll read, I'll give you a copy of this here. That the Montgomery County Legislature hereby approves the application for credit of the 2018 tax rolls as follows. Application for credit for the 2018 town and county tax roll. Instead of denied, it says approved applicant for the credit of the 2018 county and tax roll.
Second for the resolve.
Further resolve?
Second for the resolve.
Second, further resolve that the county director is hereby directed to mail the approved applications to the applicant.
And then add in all of those.
Then we need to add another resolve that said county director is also authorized and directed to make an order setting forth the corrected taxes and directing the officer having jurisdiction over the tax roll to correct the rolls and to affix the orders and approved application to the tax roll and the warrants per section 556 of the real property tax law. Such annex applications and warrants becoming part of such tax rolls. And resolve, the county director shall immediately submit to the officers having jurisdiction over tax rolls and above order all approved applications. And resolve that the county director shall mail notice of approval to the application to the applicants, and the auditing department shall submit a monthly report setting forth all corrections and or refunds processed to the Montgomery County Legislature. And resolve that provided that the applications were filed pursuant to paragraph 10, section 556 of the real property tax law, the application shall have 8 days from the date of the mailing and notice of approval to pay such corrected taxes without interest. And resolve that the said officers having charge of the tax rolls hereby are ordered and directly to immediately collect the corrected tax. Further resolve that the county treasurer is directed to charge any taxes deleted from the current rolls by this resolution wherever appropriate against the account of the respective property taxing jurisdiction for inclusion in the next ensuing tax levy. And further resolve, the county treasurer is directed to notify the appropriate districts prior to December 1st. It says May 1st now.
What date, same date do you want?
It would be on there. The date, yeah, the treasurer just has to let the people know, like, if there's a correction to the school, the treasurer has to let the school know.
So May 1st is okay.
So December 31st, 2018?
Well, I
It
don't-
says May 1st, 2018.
May 1st.
Okay, so just leave that.
2019.
That's right.
I can just take the date out and just notify the appropriate districts.
That's fine.
So further resolve, the county treasurer is directed to notify the appropriate districts or any free levy canceled by this resolution and will be charged back on the ensuing tax rolls. That's the amendment.
So, Brian, folder sponsors, Joe, put in, but I don't know who has made a motion to do the amendment.
I second.
Now we need a second.
Wait a minute, so I thought legislator Diamond made the amendment.
He made the
Okay,
amendment, so there's the amendment.
so who's
Dr.
second?
Tell is second.
So there's two rules on this, and then all of the counties.
Any other discussion on the amendment? All in favor of the amendment?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Abstained?
Yes.
Now the resolution as amended. So we have now the sponsors of this amendment, because the new amendment is Isabel and Diamond. Discussion on the discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed?
Nay.
Abstained?
Abstain.
Yes.
Chairman,
Yes.
I want to commend the legislators for doing this, and I think it's the first time we actually showed that we really care a lot about the taxpayer out there. I'm talking about our citizens.
Any other old business? New business. I need a motion to suspend the rules to add to the agenda resolution 269.
Motion.
Motion by legislator Diamond, second by legislator Peck. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Okay, refresh your students and voting on. I'll stop.
Okay. Resolution 245, resolution scheduling a public hearing, inclusion of parcel into the agricultural district number 1. Sponsors were Kelly and Wilson. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Yes.
Resolution 246, resolution adopting introductory law F, a local law amending local law 3 of 1997 as amended by local law number 1 of 2010. Sponsors were Peck and Wilson. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Yes.
Resolution 247, resolution approving the terms and conditions of certain pilot agreement to be entered into between Montgomery County Industrial Development Agency and the Mohawk Solar LLC in connection with the Mohawk Solar LLC project. Sponsors were Kelly and Sweet. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Yes.
Resolution 248, resolution authorizing the county executive to sign contracts for provision of mental health services. Sponsors were Pep and Wilson. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Yes.
Resolution 249, resolution amending the 2018 operating budget. Sponsors were Isabel and Pep. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Yes.
Resolution 250, resolution approving the sale of the retiring sheriff's duty weapon to the sheriff. Sponsors were Headwell and Kelly. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Yes.
Resolution 251, resolution authorizing the county executive to sign New York State Indigent Legal Services Grant Contract Distribution, second counsel at first appearance. Sponsors were Pep and Wilson. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Yes.
Resolution 252, resolution authorizing the county executive to sign agreement with Eastern Medical Services. Sponsors were Pep and Sweet, and we need to amend. I'll make the motion to amend, and we're going to be amending where it says to resolve clause, to amend to add an option for 2 one-year extensions to the end of the revolve clause. I need a second.
I'll second that.
Second by legislator Pep. Discussion?
But by adding that, do we have to, is there any increases or follow the
I-
increase?
I believe there might have been a modest increase in there, but it doesn't require us to authorize an agreement or to extend it. It just gives us the option.
It's $7,000 more from year to year, I'm just wondering.
Well, we did RFP at this time, it was the only response. So the consensus was internally that we give ourselves the option to extend rather than require that RFP every year, which we know we are not gonna get a whole lot of responses to.
Okay, all in favor of the amendment?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain?
Pass.
Okay, now, resolution, all in favor? Opposed? Abstain?
Good luck, Sheriff.
Wait a minute, are you opposing or saying by this year?
Same budget.
Pass.
Resolution 253, resolution authorizing the county executive to sign an amendment to the agreement for operation and maintenance of the New York State Canal Trail. Sponsors were Sweet and Pep. Discussion. Yes.
Do we know how much more it'll cost us to?
I'm sure Eric would be happy to tell us.
Like
A lot. Well, it's another 4 miles instead of.
No. Another 10 miles.
Oh, cause you gotta go down one side.
Go down
and
one
back
side,
the
you
other.
come back the other, so whatever you come up with,
I
double
think
it.
it's,
4 and 4 is 8. 4 plus 4 is 8.
it's 5. Our section is 5.
Okay.
Assessor meeting?
He said 4.
We've talked about some ideas, especially, moving into next year, maybe partnering with, the new sheriff on some ways to do that differently than we're doing now, so it is a little bit, yeah, it's gonna cost us a little bit.
Do we get money for signing this or maintaining? Is it gonna, nothing?
But we didn't pay anything to have the new trail piece added, so
No, the state,
that's the positive.
the state owns the trail,
Excuse me?
the state owns the real estate,
Correct.
we maintain it. And what's the, just the name is the Mohawk Hudson Trail.
It's,
State canal.
yeah, it's similar to what we already do, but because this new piece has been added, this is just formalizing the fact that we're gonna maintain it like we maintain the rest of it.
Where is it?
Is that the part down by Patterson?
Yes, it's the Pattersonville piece, and actually you can go, with one exception from, Schenectady to Herkimer, and the next piece is, go up underneath the railroad tracks over down by Schenectady, but, it's a nice, they just did an unveiling, opened it up, it's a really nice section of trail.
Is that the section we just paved?
No, that's different, this is brand new, that connects, Schenectady to Amsterdam.
It's right next to Cransville Block.
Yeah,
Why wasn't it included before?
it just
Wasn't
wasn't,
ever there.
yeah.
It was just old train tracks that, train trestle.
Part of the Governor's Canalway Trail project, which extends north and south, east and west, is filling in the gaps. This is one of those gaps.
So does the gap, you had to go out on Route 5,
Correct.
go and then cut back.
Correct.
There's
Yeah.
five new bridges that have been constructed on it.
It's impressive. It's a nice trail. We're lucky to have this trail. Yes, it is, but it's a nice amenity for a local community, for sure. I'll be-
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain?
Pass.
Resolution 254, resolution amending the 2018 operating budget surplus equipment auction. Sponsors were Pep and Sweet. Discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Abstained?
Pass.
Resolution 255, resolution authorizing county executive to sign, county executive to execute change order 1 with Tri-Valley Plumbing and Heating Incorporated for FMCC Campus Lab and Classroom Building Phase 1 project. Sponsors were Pep and Wilson. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Pass.
Resolution 256, resolution authorizing the county executive to execute change order 1 with Associates Incorporated for FMCC Campus Labs and Classroom Building Phase 1 project. Sponsors were Pep and Wilson. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained.
Pass.
Resolution 257, resolution authorizing the purchase of interior signage as part of the FMCC PE building bathrooms and locker room project. Sponsors were Wilson and Peck. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained.
Pass.
Resolution 258, resolution authorizing advertising for bids for the FMCC renovation project theater and other buildings. Sponsors were Sweet and Pep. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained.
Pass.
Resolution 259, resolution authorizing advertising for bids for the FMCC campus labs and classroom Phase 2 project. Sponsors were Pep and Wilson. Discussion. Yes. Was there?
So it says that the county will be required to fund the project in 2019, either bond or budget. Are we budgeting or bonding $156,290? Are we budgeting half of that? What's our liability with that?
Oh, as far as what our future, we talked with Dusty, what is it, similar, 250, usually every year, 250 from each county, which then is matched, which gets us to $1 million. That expectation has not changed on either side as far as I know. So I do anticipate that we'll stay at that 250 level, and I believe we do. Yes.
For the project, the budget that you're gonna budget, that is as part of.
Sorry, yeah.
Yes.
Not bonding, but did we bond or did we?
We've done it both ways in the past.
Anything else? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Pass.
Resolution 260, resolution authorizing the county executive to execute change order number 1 with Tri-Valley Plumbing and Heating for FMCC campus lab and classroom building Phase 1 project. Sponsors were Sweet and Wilson. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained.
Pass.
Resolution 261, resolution authorizing the county executive to execute change order number 4 with Glass Hatfield Construction LLC for FMCC PE buildings, bathrooms, and locker room projects. Sponsors were Peck and Kelly. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained.
Pass.
Resolution 262, resolution authorizing the purchase and installation of equipment and controls as part of the FMCC campus lab and classroom building Phase 1 project. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained.
Pass.
Resolution 263, resolution confirming the appointment made by the county executive to the Fulton Montgomery Community College Board of Trustees. Sponsors were Headwell and Kelly. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
Who opposed?
Abstained.
Pass.
Resolution 264, resolution adopting introductory law G, a local law amending local law 3 of 2014. Sponsors were Kelly and Peck. Discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Abstained.
Pass.
Resolution 265, resolution appointing a Democrat election commissioner. Sponsors were Sweet and Kelly. Discussion.
Discussion. I wasn't at the committee meeting, but it was my understanding that it didn't pass committee, so I'm first of all wondering why it's here. And if in fact it didn't pass committee, if I remember correctly, it goes back to the Democratic committee for them to approve, and it's out of our hands.
As to the rules, it moves the full legislator for a vote with no recommendation from the committee.
That would have to pass as a resolution, part of the resolution. It was my understanding there was more no votes than, I wasn't there, so that's why I'm bringing it up as a point of order.
The
If you're-
council went to the bylaws, and the bylaws say that it does move to the full board for a vote.
Okay,
However, it doesn't come with recommendation from the committee. It comes with a no recommendation.
Committee shall report on each item and may provide a recommendation for approval or disapproval by the affirmative vote of a simple majority. So
Was it
it's
disapproval?
recommendation for disapproval. And regarding the appointment itself, I did a memorandum of law on that in February 2017. Because there was a question on if the appointment of a commissioner is simply a ministerial function or if it's a power of the legislature, and it is in fact a power of the legislature, and you do have the authority to make that appointment. You don't have to simply go with the recommendation.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Opposed.
Abstained?
Opposed, Brandon, opposed.
Pass.
Resolution 266, resolution amending the 2018 operating budget to accept grant funds pursuant to the municipal restructuring fund. Sponsors were Pep and Wilson. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Pass.
Resolution 267, resolution rescheduling the December meeting of the Montgomery County Legislature. Sponsors were Pep and Sweet. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
I celebrated Festivus. I don't eat Christmas.
Pass.
Resolution 268, resolution approving the abstract of audit claims. Sponsors were Wilson and Sweet. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Pass.
Okay. Resolution 269, resolution 269, resolution amending the 2018 operating budget probation. Need a sponsor? Sponsor, legislator Pep, second, legislator Sweet. Any discussion?
Will this take us through the rest of the year?
Yes. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Pass.
Okay. On the new business, we have others. Is there anything else?
Chair,
Yes.
I just want to tell the rest of the legislature, we won't have a budget workshop meeting in December, just because of the accelerated schedule here. We'll revert back to it in January, either after the annual meeting or after the committee meeting, looking at our year-end dashboard.
Anything else? Hearing none, have a motion to amend, or to adjourn. Legislator Kelly, second. Legislator Sweet, all in favor?
Go and then cut back.
Correct. There's five new bridges that have been constructed. It's really, it's impressive. It's a nice trail. We're lucky to have this trail. Yes, it is, but it's a nice amenity for the local community, for sure. I'll be
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Pass.
Resolution 254, resolution amending the 2018 operating budget surplus equipment auction. Sponsors were Pep and Sweet. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Pass.
Resolution 255, resolution authorizing county executive to sign, county executive to execute change order 1 with Tri-Valley Plumbing and Heating Incorporated for FMCC Campus Lab and Classroom Building Phase 1 project. Sponsors were Peck and Wilson. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained.
Pass.
Resolution 256, resolution authorizing the county executive to execute change order 1 with Associates Incorporated for FMCC Campus Labs and Classroom Building Phase 1 project. Sponsors were Pep and Wilson. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained.
Pass.
Resolution 257, resolution authorizing the purchase of interior signage as part of the FMCC PE building bathrooms and locker room project. Sponsors were Wilson and Peck. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained.
Pass.
Resolution 258, resolution authorizing advertising for bids for the FMCC renovation project, theater and other buildings. Sponsors were Sweet and Pep. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained.
Pass.
Resolution 259, resolution authorizing advertising for bids for the FMCC Campus Labs and Classroom Phase 2 project. Sponsors were Pep and Wilson. Discussion. Yes. Was there?
So it says that the county will be required to fund the project in 2019, either bond or budget. Are we budgeting or bonding $156,290, or are we budgeting half of that? What's our liability to that?
Oh, as far as what our future, in talking with Dusty, what is it, similar, 250, usually every year, 250 from each county, which then is matched, which gets us to $1 million. That expectation has not changed on either side as far as I know. So I do anticipate that we'll stay at that 250 level, and I believe we do. Yes. Sorry, yeah.
Yes.
Not bonding, but did we bond or did we?
We've done it both ways in the past.
Anything else? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Pass.
Resolution 260, resolution authorizing the county executive to execute change order number 1 with Tri-Valley Plumbing and Heating for FMCC Campus Lab and Classroom Building Phase 1 project. Sponsors were Sweet and Wilson. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained.
Pass.
Resolution 261, resolution authorizing the county executive to execute change order number 4 with Glass Hatfield Construction LLC for FMCC PE buildings, bathrooms, and locker room projects. Sponsors were Peck and Kelly. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained.
Pass.
Resolution 262, resolution authorizing the purchase and installation of equipment and controls as part of the FMCC Campus Lab and Classroom Building Phase 1 project. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained.
Pass.
Resolution 263, resolution confirming the appointment made by the county executive to the Fulton Montgomery Community College Board of Trustees. Sponsors were Headwell and Kelly. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
Who opposed?
Abstained.
Pass.
Resolution 264, resolution adopting introductory law G a local law amending local law 3 of 2014. Sponsors were Kelly and Pep. Discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Abstained.
Pass.
Resolution 265, resolution appointing a Democrat election commissioner. Sponsors were Sweet and Kelly. Discussion.
Discussion. I wasn't at the committee meeting, but it was my understanding that it didn't pass committee, so I'm first of all wondering why it's here. And if in fact it didn't pass committee, if I remember correctly, it goes back to the Democratic committee for them to approve, and it's out of our hands.
As to the rules, it moves the full legislator for a vote with no recommendation from the committee.
That would have to pass as a resolution, part of the resolution. It was my understanding there was more no votes than, I wasn't there, so that's why I'm bringing it up as a point of order.
The council went to the bylaws, and the bylaws say that it does move to the full board for a vote.
Okay.
However, it doesn't come with recommendation from the committee. It comes with a no recommendation.
Committee shall report on each item and may provide a recommendation for approval or disapproval by the affirmative vote of a simple majority. So
It was
it's
disapproval.
recommendation for disapproval. And regarding the appointment itself, I did a memorandum of law on that in February 2017. Because there was a question on if the appointment of a commissioner is simply a ministerial function or if it is the power of the legislature. And it is in fact a power of the legislature, and you do have the authority to make an appointment. You don't have to simply go with the recommendation.
Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Opposed.
Abstained?
Opposed, Stanley, opposed.
Pass.
Resolution 266, resolution amending the 2018 operating budget to accept grant funds pursuant to municipal restructuring fund. Sponsors were Pep and Wilson. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Pass.
Resolution 267, resolution rescheduling the December meeting of the Montgomery County Legislature. Sponsors were Pep and Sweet. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
I celebrated Festivus. I don't eat Christmas.
Pass.
Resolution 268, resolution approving the abstract of audit claims. Sponsors were Wilson and Sweet. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Pass.
Okay. Resolution 269, resolution 269, resolution amending the 2018 operating budget probation. Need a sponsor? Sponsor, legislator Pep, second, legislator Sweet. Any discussion?
Will this take us through the rest of the year?
Okay. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Pass.
Okay. On new business, we have other, is there anything else?
Chair,
Yes.
I just want to tell the rest of the legislature, we won't have a budget workshop meeting in December. Just because of the accelerated schedule here. We'll revert back to it in January, either after the annual meeting or after the committee meeting, looking at our year-end dashboard.
Anything else? Hearing none, have a motion to amend, or to adjourn. Legislator Kelly, second. Legislator Sweet, all in favor?